everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys all had a wonderful holiday with your family and friends. I apologize for not being able to finish my 15 days of beauty. I was so ticked off, you guys. Oh, I was mad, but I got sick right there at the end and I just couldn't film. And then Christmas was right around the corner and my husband and I, our anniversary is on the 23rd. I don't know what the hell we were thinking getting married 2 days before Christmas. Not the smartest plan in the world. I know we've been married 22 years and I don't know why we did that. But anyway, so by the time I got feeling better, I had to get my house ready for a family coming to stay for the holidays. And then my husband and I went and spent the night in Salt Lake for our anniversary, come home Christmas Eve. And it's just been, you guys, it's just been crazy. This video is in collaboration with one of my friends. Her name is Mary. Her channel is Glitzy Fritzy. And she and I became friends through Mel. She was really good friends with Mel, and I met her through Mel. And I remember Mel told me how much she loved Mary, and they'd been close for a long time, long before Mel and I became friends. And when Mel passed away, Mary and I really connected, through the grief of losing such a beautiful human. And Mary is amazing. And she is a genuinely good person, loves makeup. She has her channel because she has passion for it. And you can hear the passion that she has for makeup. And she's super funny, quirky, just an incredible human. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to her. And I'm honored to collaborate with her. And we kind of talked about what we were going to do. We've been wanting to do this for a while. She and Mel were supposed to actually do this collaboration together. But unfortunately, Mel, had some health struggles there before she passed, and then she passed away, and they never were able to do it. And it's a full face of Lancome. And Mary, it's so funny because she and I were texting back and forth a couple of days ago, and she was like, I have loved Lancome for probably as long as you've been alive, Tara. Like, I busted out laughing when I read that text. She's so funny. I just love her. I'm incredibly honored that she wanted to collaborate with me. Because I know that this is a difficult collaboration for her because she was supposed to do it with Mel and she, didn't get the chance to. And I am just incredibly honored to fill in for our beautiful Mel. And I love Lancome. Lancome was the first brand that I was ever introduced to through my grandmother. My grandmother loved makeup and she loved to buy makeup from the department stores. And she took me there to a department store when I was a teenager and she bought me my first makeup, which was at the Lancome counter. So Lancome has a sentimental history for me personally. And I am just excited to do this full face of Lancome. And there was a lot of products that I didn't have. So I ordered some new products that I'm excited to play with and test out, share my thoughts with you guys. Now, I did pick up the Makeup by Mario foundation. I've been testing it for the last couple days. That video will be up tomorrow. I have a lot to say about that foundation. So that video will be up tomorrow or Sunday. I'm not sure. I might need to wear it one more day just to be sure, but you guys know I like to be thorough. I've been wearing it for 3 days. So I might want to wear it one more day. We'll just see. But that will be my next video. And then I have some products coming up from Dior that were just delivered. So lots of fun stuff to go through. And I'm just excited to be back. Thank you guys for being so understanding about the break. When you get sick, it is what it is, right? Especially right before the holidays. Ugh, such a bummer. But anyway, I will leave all of the deets for Mary's channel down in the description box down below and also pin it to a comment so you guys can go down to the comment section and go straight to her channel. Mary is amazing and I am just incredibly honored to collaborate with her doing a full face of Lancome. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. We're going to start with foundation. I don't think I have a primer from Lancome though. I do. Yes. Okay. I found it. I didn't think I had a base, but I do. I don't know that I've ever used this. This is like a deluxe size sample that I got. So this is called the Le Base Pro, and it's a perfecting makeup primer. It's a smoothing effect, oil-free, for all skin types. Feels kind of silky to the touch. It's a gel type, and then it feels like it kind of dries to like a silky texture. Ooh, it feels really silky. Okay, let's move on to foundation. So one of my all-time favorite skin tints is from Lancome. It is the Skin Feels Good. So I have 2 shades of this, but I think both of them might be too dark for me right now. I have 4 neutral golden sand, and I have 45 warm caramel, which I still think that's going to be too dark. So that's the 45. It might work, but it might be, I don't know. And then this one is the 4 sand, which it's way too dark. This is what I wear in the summer, and I have not been getting this dark. So it's been a while since I bought this, maybe 2-3 years ago, and I really haven't gotten that dark. So it is a really nice skin tint, but I wanted to try this on camera. So this is the new Tint Idol Ultra Wear Care and Glow. So it's a 24-hour healthy glow serum foundation with buildable medium coverage with SPF of 27 to hydrate and smooth the skin for a natural glowing finish. This one might be too dark for me too. This one I got in the shade 400 Warm. I think I might be able to make that work. Yeah, we're gonna try this one. So I'm just gonna start with 1 pump. That's 1 pump right there. Yeah, that color is just too dark, you guys. I can't wear this. This looks ridiculous. Okay, I need to go off camera and figure something else out because I can't wear this. This is just too dark. So I think I might have had a solution to make this foundation work. I found this. This is the LA Girl Pro Color Foundation Mixing Pigment. It's in white, and it kind of lightens up the foundation. And I just mixed it here, and I think I can make that work. I think once it dries and kind of sets down, that might be a pretty good shade for me. I mean, that's gonna work for my natural skin. Okay, that works so much better. Oh my gosh, works so much better. Okay, brows are on, eyes are ready for eyeshadow, and I think that the foundation looks really good. Being able to lighten it up the way I really like the way that this looks, and I'm happy with it. I am. Okay, so we're gonna move on to eyeshadow, and I don't have any eyeshadow from Lancome. So I went ahead and ordered this palette. So this is called the Hypnose palette. This is the 18 Nude Sculptural? I don't know. Anyway, this is what the palette looks like. Just really easy, beautiful tones. Right here on the palette, you'll notice that it has directions on where to put the shadows. It's kind of hard to get it to show up with the mirror effect because it's on the sticker, but it says base, upper lid, touch of light, highlighter, and liner. So it kind of gives you a guide on how to use the palette, which I'm not mad at that. It comes with 2 sponge tip applicators, which I personally love. They're super buttery and soft. These are super soft. Look how pretty that palette is. Almost cream-like. So they're kind of that hybrid where they're the powder with the cream kind of combined. They're really, really soft in texture. They kind of feel creamy to the touch, which I am not mad at because I'm starting to really love cream eyeshadow. So this is exciting. I'm excited. I'm wearing kind of dramatic eyelashes. So as many of you guys know, I wear Lashify. And I bought they had a discount going during the holidays. And so I bought PT, the style PT, and they're a little bit more dramatic than I personally like, but I'm just gonna wear it and kind of go with it. I'm gonna first go into this shade right here. And I'm gonna start that in my crease and kind of work it. My first experience with Lancome was I was a teenager And my grandma loved to go to like Dillard's and ZCMI. I don't think ZCMI is around anymore, but like Nordstrom's and stuff. She used to love to buy all of her makeup from the department stores, and Lancome was one of her favorite brands. So when I was a teenager, I went to the mall with her all the time, and we lived about an hour and a half from the mall. So we would go up to the city. I grew up in a small town, so we'd go to the city. I remember when I was a teenager, she was like, okay, I'm going to go and take you to buy you makeup. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I was so excited. And she bought me the very first foundation I ever wore was the powder foundation from Lancome. I'll put a picture right up here on the screen. And I wore that, you guys, for years. I wore that probably into my early 30s. When I started, I had to stop using it when I started getting adult acne. The powder foundation didn't really look that good over acne and, you know, breakouts and stuff. So I switched to a liquid. So I wore that powder foundation from Lancome from maybe 15, 16 on until I was in my early 30s. It was just all I wore. And I loved that powder foundation. And that was kind of my first introduction into Lancome and makeup. And she bought me a bunch of stuff from Lancome. And I remember going back to my friends. I'm going to go into this shade. I remember going back to my friends and they're like, oh my gosh, you have makeup from Lancome. I was like, yay, I'm so excited. My grandma totally spoiled me. I'm gonna go into this pink shade and I'm gonna use the sponge tip that comes with it. Such a pretty color. These textures are fantastic. P.S. She not only bought me like the powder foundation, but she bought me blush, you know, bronzer, mascara, all the things, right, from Lancome. Just kind of the minimal, right? I'm going to flip this sponge around and I'm going to go into this shade on the center. And I'm just going to put it here on the lid. I think I'm going to bring a little bit of that onto the inner corner like this. I love sponge tip applicators. And I like this one because it's long. Like a lot of the palettes that I get that have sponge tips, they're shorter. And this one is a little longer and it's just a little easier to use. I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm going to go into this shade here on the outer corner. Kind of deepen it. Oops, I just made a boo-boo right there. Hopefully I'll be able to blend it out. Oh yeah, that blended so easily. So I'm going to move on to concealer before I move on to this eye and do the lower lash line. And I'm going to pull out the new Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear. This is a all over concealer. I have this one in the shade 330. It might be the same color as my foundation since it's so light, but we'll see. Yeah, it might be a little bit too dark. So I'm going to actually lighten this up as well. Here's the thing about this concealer. I don't really love it on the under eye, but I love it as a spot conceal. So that's how I like to wear this concealer. So I just put some here on my mixing palette here. And I'm just going to put like that much just to see what that does. I think that'll be good. Okay. So pick up a little bit here. Yeah, that's better. And a little bit of this concealer goes a really long way. So the one trick that I can tell you with this concealer is to not use very much of it. It's not one that's super forgiving on the wrinkles and on the under eyes if you use too much of it. You know how you'll have some concealers that you can kind of get away with it, but not this one. Definitely not my favorite on the under eye. I felt like it exaggerated my wrinkles just a little bit too much. But like I said, as a spot conceal, this is great because it has good coverage and it works really nicely. Okay, so I finished the other eye. Let's move on to the lower lash line. And I just have to say, these textures are so creamy. Kind of remind me of the Lisa Eldridge eyeshadows, just in the way that they blend very easily and they have that creamy texture, but they're still powdery at the sense. So far, I'm absolutely loving this formula. So I'm going to go into this shade and grab a little bit of this shade. And I'm going to put it here on my lower, just to kind of give me something under there, and then kind of use what's on the brush to kind of blend out the outer corner. Hope you guys had a wonderful holiday with your family and friends. We had a great holiday. Everything just kind of came so fast. Like all of a sudden, like one day it was like December 5th and the next day it was like December 24th. And I was like, oh my gosh, tomorrow's Christmas. Like this is crazy. I don't know if anybody else had that experience, but I just felt like Christmas came so fast this year. Like before I even knew what was going on, it was already Christmas. Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to grab a flat brush and I'm going to go into this shade right here. And just do it here on the outer corner. Yeah, these textures are super, super soft. Like such soft eyeshadows. Very, very impressed with the formula overall. We're going to move on to mascara. Now, because I already have lashes on and they're quite big lashes, I'm just going to go ahead and put on some of the writing is off. This is a deluxe size sample that I've had. The Lancome Lash Idol was one of my absolute favorites from the first time I used it. And then I fell in love with the Chantecaille mascaras, so I don't buy this as much. But this is a fantastic mascara. It doesn't give me raccoon eyes. It stays in place all day. And the brush looks like this. So it kind of has that angle to it, but the mascara itself, like the formula, is phenomenal. I used to have a bigger size of it, like the full size, but a couple of months ago, I went through all of my mascara and just like threw them all out. I don't know why we hang on to all those mascaras. Like, am I the only one that does that? Do you guys have a lot of mascaras that you're not using? I don't know what it is, but these are done. Let's move on to face. So these I went ahead and ordered for this video. I'm excited to play with them. I have a blush palette, which has a contour, a blush, and a highlight, but I didn't know if the contour or blush would be, yeah, I knew that wouldn't work. There's no way. There's no way that's going to work for me. I ordered it thinking maybe it might work, but no. So this one is in the shade Rose Flush. There's no way this is going to work. No way. There is no way that will work. Okay, so I got that one. So I went ahead and ordered a blush and a bronzer separately because I was a little worried. So this is the blush that I got. It is in the shade 345 Rose Fresque. Okay, and then I got a bronzer, and this is the Star Bronzer Natural Glow. This is in the shade 02 Saltaire. So this is what the bronzer looks like. It's warm, so it has a nice warmth to it. That's what the bronzer looks like. Pretty. Okay, so we're gonna try it out. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the bronzer first. I'm just gonna use this brush from Hourglass. It's a very soft bronzer. Very soft. Very, very, very natural, soft bronzer. I'm gonna add just a little bit right here to get me a little bit more with a more direct brush, you know? The other one is a little bit wispy, and I wanna add just a little bit. It's very soft in texture, and it doesn't get muddy at all. That is a really pretty bronzer. Really nice formula. It's really silky. Kind of reminds me of the Tarasbeamer Beauty. Kind of has that silky texture. Really pretty. All right, let's go into the blush. I'm going to use a natural hair brush and pick it up a little bit. pigmented. So the formula is pretty. I just don't know that I love the color of it. It's not my favorite, but we're going to move on to powder. This is probably one of their more popular products. This is the Absolute powder. It's a radiant smoothing powder. So it is a little bit on the radiant side, but it is a really beautiful powder. It is. So this one is in the shade Absolute Acryl Light. So I'm going to put a little bit down into my lid here. Okay. And then I'm going to use my big La Mer powder brush and kind of go in there and get it. It's a really pretty powder. I haven't used it for a while, but it's pretty. We're going to go ahead and move on to lip, and I ordered a new lip liner, and this is in the shade 265 Portelle, a pretty plum color, which I didn't have a lip liner in this shade. I thought it was really pretty. And what I like about it is it has a brush on the tip of it, like the ones from Tom Ford, which I always love a lip liner with a brush on the end. It's just amazing. And then for the lip, these are some of my favorite like long-lasting lipsticks. This is a liquid lipstick from Lancome. These, oh, the writing is so small. Oh, I'll put it up here on the screen because I can't read the writing on it, but these are great. They kind of stay locked and loaded and last for a few hours. If you are looking for a good long-lasting liquid lip, these are fantastic. But I went ahead and ordered a new lipstick. So this is the Rouge Cream in the shade 257 Mon Macaron. Mon Macaron, I think is what it's called. This is what the packaging looks like. This is the first actual lipstick I've ever bought from Lancome. So you push the bottom and it pops out. Ooh, that's pretty packaging. That's pretty fancy. And that's the shade. I think that's actually going to go really pretty. So I think you just, yeah, you push it up in there. So you push this down and it pulls out. That is kind of, that's kind of cool. It is. All right. We're going to start with the liner first. I've always heard such good things about their lip liners. And just blend it out. I can tell that this is going to be a lip liner that's long lasting. I can tell by the way that it is kind of drying and setting down. I just recommend if you're like me and you like to blend out your lip liner, I recommend putting it on and blending it out quickly before moving on to the upper or the lower lip, right? Like work on one section at a time. It does say it's waterproof, and I can kind of tell that that's the type of formula it is. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the lipstick. Okay, those are really pretty together. So I am going to show you guys what these shades look like. So that's 323. I love this one during the summer. It has that really pretty shine to it, and it's kind of that real pretty raspberry color. It's really pretty. So this is 274. This one is 202, and this one is 323. They are fantastic. If you guys are looking for a long-lasting liquid lipstick, these are great. Okay, so this is the final look using a full face of Lancome, and I actually really like the way my makeup looks. I keep looking in the monitor, and I'm like, dang, my makeup looks really good. I could see myself wearing, like, especially the face makeup on those days where I am going somewhere, whether it's like dinner or, you know, date night, party, something like that, because my face makeup feels really locked and loaded. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into my final thoughts. I'm going to first start with the foundation. It's kind of hard for me to know how I feel about this. I definitely need a lighter shade in this. So we'll see. I've heard great things. I've heard a lot of people have been really loving this version of the Tint Idol. So I don't know. We'll see. Feel like my makeup is pretty locked and loaded at this moment, and I have a feeling it's because of the foundation, because it does look really beautiful. It does. I think I'm going to order me a lighter shade of this because I could see myself using this foundation for those days where I really need the foundation to be good and last a really long time. This is definitely not dewy at all. I would say it's more of a natural finish, kind of leaning a little bit on the mattifying side. I wouldn't recommend it for dry skin. But I think if you have combo or oily skin and maybe the tint Idol was a little bit too much, this might be a really good option. I don't know. Let me know how many of you guys have tried this new foundation from Lancome and what is your experience with it? I'm really curious, but I definitely need a lighter shade in this to fully determine if I like it or not. Quickly go over the concealer. Like I mentioned in the application, I like it better on the face than I do the under eyes. It's a little bit too heavy on the under eye for me. I've every time I've wore it under the eye, I felt like it exaggerated my wrinkles a little bit too much. It does kind of dry and set down, but I definitely like it on the face more than I do the under eye. I have to say though, this is probably my favorite thing that I use today. I love this formula and I love all the shades. I love how creamy and buttery these eyeshadows are. I can see myself reaching for this, especially on those days where I need something really quick, kind of no fuss. The formula is very, very easy. And like I said, it reminds me of the Lisa Eldridge, kind of creamy and buttery. Like I really, really like this a lot. And I'm actually happy that I have it now in my collection because I can see myself grabbing this and just using it something really fast and easy or taking it with me on vacation. It's kind of small and travel friendly. So I really, really like the formula on the eyeshadow. I also really like the bronzer. This bronzer is beautiful. It has a little bit of radiance, but in the softest way. No harsh lines. It doesn't get muddy and it's lightweight enough to where it's not too much bronzer, but it gives you a little bit of that sun-kissed glow. Gorgeous formula. Really, really great bronzer. Now the blush, I like the formula. It's just the color is a little bit too much. I will have to look to see if I can find other colors. I don't mind it, but I would prefer a different color. Formula is really soft, like really soft, and it applied beautifully. Like it's not super powdery, blended out really beautifully as far as the formula goes. It's just, I don't really love the color of this one. So that's the deets on that. The powder's great. This has been a staple from Lancome for a reason. The Absolute powder is beautiful and I'm happy to pull it back out and play with it. You know how you pull stuff out and you're like, why haven't I been using you? That's how I feel about this powder. I think I'm going to continue to use it. I know that Mel raved about this powder. She loved this powder and yeah, I need to use it more. End of the day, that's what needs to happen. Really, really like the lip liner. The lip liner is very impressive. I like the brush on the tip. Great formula. It is one of those waterproof formulas where, like I mentioned, when you're applying it, blend it out pretty quickly before moving on to another part because it kind of dries and it can get a little bit crumbly if you like to blend it out like I do. This is a great formula though. And I actually like the lipstick too. What I like about this lipstick is that it has a really beautiful shine. I know they have matte lipsticks, they have the liquid, they have tons of different lipstick options, and I was excited to try the Rouge Cream. So this is a beautiful, beautiful lipstick. So that's pretty much it. That is the full face of Lancome. Definitely head over to Mary's channel on Glitzy Fritzy and check out her video. I'm excited to see her video because she has loved Lancome for many years. In fact, when we were emailing back and forth, she told me that she's loved Lancome as much as I've been alive, which I loved that. But I'll link her video down in the description box down below. But I want to thank Mary for collaborating with me on this video. She is a fantastic content creator, and I am just so honored to be a part of this. Put in the comment section down below your favorite Lancome product. I'm so curious to hear your thoughts, so definitely sign off down below. Don't forget to come right back here tomorrow because I'm going to be doing a full review on the Makeup by Mario foundation. I've been wearing it for the last couple of days. I have a lot of thoughts, so that review will be up. Also, I have some new Dior products coming up, so we're going to start out the new year with some really really good videos. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Love you. Bye.